Welcome to Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help educate you about narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Hi, and welcome to another broadcast of Narc Abuse No More with your host, Dr. and Evangelist K.O. Rich. Thanks for tuning in today. Today is Monday, January the 17th of 2021. I pray that you've had a blessed, stress-free, narcissistic-free, abuse-free week so far, and that the remainder of this week will continue to be so as well. But if not, we're going to be talking about a few things today. Again, my name is Dr. K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Yes, they do. But before we go on with today's broadcast, I would like to invite you to visit us on our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Again, that website address is www.narcabusenomore.org, or you can type in narcissisticabusenomore.com. Again, that's narcissisticabusenomore.com, and on our website you find valuable information regarding narcissism, regarding relationships, and we're adding more things to our website. So again, that's narcissisticabusenomore.com or narcabusenomore.org. That's narc, N-A-R-C, abusenomore.org. That's short for narcissistic. All right, what are we talking about today? We're talking about narcissistic rage. Narcissistic rage. What causes it? What triggers it? And how you should respond. And we know that narcissists are all about themselves. They have this perception that they are important, that they're the center of the universe, that their importance is everybody else's importance, or should be everybody else's importance. They have this grandiose view about themselves, and when you shatter that, should you try to shatter that image that they have drawn or concluded about themselves, then you will find that you will run into the Incredible Hulk, the narcissistic rage. For those of you who remember the series from the 70s and even remakes in the 2000s, the Incredible Hulk, I believe they were they added the Incredible Hulk to the Adventure series. And so the Incredible Hulk, Dr. David Banner, he had been exposed to some I think it was some gammon or some green something. I think it's called gammalite or something like that. Anyway, you all know, if you're familiar with the series, what I'm talking about. And it made him turn into a monster whenever he would get upset. And his famous saying was, "You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." And that is the narcissist. When they go into this narcissistic rage, you would not like them when they're angry. Okay, you don't like them when they're not angry. Okay, but the thing is, oh man, when they turn into this monster, okay, this green monster, they perceive you to have done something to them to shatter their image, their identity of themselves. And so therefore, when they're on the receiving end, see, the thing is that they love to throw out things to other people. They love to find flaws in other people. They love to dissect others with the telescope, with the microscope, to see all the distant things that they can find up in the stars and the galaxies. Oh, they will try to dissect you. But when it comes to someone someone telling them about themselves, it triggers their narcissistic rage. You have shattered that perfect image of themselves. It's like someone breaking the mirror and all of a sudden I got bad luck. Now, I don't believe in that stuff. But the thing is that we know a lot of, folk tales, myths that, if you break an image, if you break a mirror, then you have 7 years of bad luck. Okay, so this is how the narcissists act, as if you've shattered their mirror and all of a sudden they got this bad luck on them, and they go into this monster. It comes out of this cage. They're breaking through the clothes like Incredible Hulk did, and you find yourself on the receiving end of their anger, of their rage. And so we're talking today about how to deal with this rage. And as always, I love to give you a website that you can go to, and we're going to actually link this to our website as well. I'm going to take some of the things that they have here because it's listed. I'm going to add some more things, and we're going to have this on our page. This is choosingtherapy.com, and this is written by Dr. Thomas, and we are going over their particular article dealing with narcissistic rage, and so many people you might not understand what is going on, because let me just say this: when you're dealing with narcissists, including myself, you can easily get caught up. Sometimes I forget that I am a counselor. And these people will drive you crazy. Yes. And I have to remember, okay, you know what they are, you know what they do, you know they can come out of bags at any given time. So what is narcissistic rage? Narcissistic rage was first coined by the psychoanalyst Heinz Kohut in the 1970s. And basically it deals with this outburst of anger, violence. They don't know how to control it or do not wish to control it. And so it gives a sense of discomfort to those who are at the receiving end of it, those who are the target of this rage. And this rage, we call it being associated with narcissistic injury. So if you remember the series The Incredible Hulk, whenever the Hulk became angry or when he was injured, so if he encountered an accident or if somebody had hit him or did something, it caused him to go into this narcissistic rage. So he first received the injury, whatever type of injury it was, and then he went into the rage. So first they received what they could perceive as a narcissistic injury, which can be anything that irritates them, even physical attacks, anything that causes them to reflect on the reality of who they really are. They cannot handle it. So what they do is they perceive this person who has really given them a reality check, and therefore they go into the rage. So first is the injury of whatever they perceive you have done to them, then it goes into the rage aspect of it. Now, narcissists, what they love to do is you can be confronting them about something that they actually did, and they will gaslight you. We talked about gaslight, how they try to make you doubt your reality. They try to deflect it. They try to make it seem as if it's you. They project their bad behavior onto you. They will verbally assault you. They will try to make you feel as if it's your fault, as if it's you that's the narcissist, as if, and let me just say this: never tell a narcissist that they're a narcissist. Let me just say that out front. Never tell a narcissist that they're a narcissist, because they would never absorb it. They would never believe it. They would never acknowledge it. They would never take hold of it. They would never have ownership of it. And they will make you think as if you're the narcissist when it's actually them. See, the thing is, when you're telling them something that they cannot handle it. And that's when if you tell a narcissist that they're a narcissist, they get that narcissistic injury, and then you will see the narcissistic rage, and then they will gaslight you to make you doubt your reality, and therefore they will deflect, project, and they will verbally abuse you. And at the end of the day, when you get done with them, they will be flip the script on you. All right. So this is why it's never, you might say, well, it's good to tell them, yeah, at your own risk, but just know this, it does no good. It's like wasting your breath. You actually are wasting your breath telling them anything about themselves, really, because they will never believe it. They will never take hold to it. They will never grasp hold to it. They will never acknowledge it. And therefore, they do not want you to shatter that perfect image that they have of themselves, because they cannot handle the truth. We know the movie, A Few Good Men, with Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise. And when Jack Nicholson was on the stand, and I forget whatever it was that Tom Cruise asked him, and Jack Nicholson, he says, you can't handle the truth. Well, that's how narcissists are. They cannot handle the truth. Turn the mirror on them, and they cannot handle the image that they see as their reflection. They have this false image of themselves. They have this persona that they want everyone to see. They have this mask that they wear. They have this sense of superiority over everyone else. They are the Dr. Jekyll and the Mr. Hyde. Everyone sees the Dr. Jekyll, but they cannot stand to see themselves as Mr. Hyde, the true monsters that most of them are. So once they are given a dose of their own medicine, they will become sometimes physically abusive. They will become verbally, emotionally abusive. They cannot handle it. They love to tell everyone else about themselves, but let that same scrutiny come back on them. They can't handle it. It's like exposing gremlins to water. It's like exposing a vampire to sunlight. Okay? They can't handle it. They have to go into hiding, and their way of going into hiding is to deny their true selves. So therefore, when you expose them to their true selves, then they're going to come out of the corner fighting like a bat coming out of Hades. All right? So do not ever think that when you approach them with something that they do, that they're going to receive it. All right? You might get all kinds of accusations against you, because they want to hurt you, because they think that you've hurt them by telling them the truth about themselves. So therefore, do not be surprised at when they try to go below the belt and hurt you with whatever they know about you. And this is why I often say on here, remember your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of the narcissist. When you expose them for who they are going to try to hurt you. They can't handle the truth. They will go about 50 years, some of you did in high school, and throw it up, because that's all they have. All right. So these are the type of people that they are. So what are some of the signs of narcissistic rage? Because you want to know the signs. You want to know how they play the game so that you will not be a part of it. The first thing, one of the common signs is they will have a bout of anger. Okay. Their anger is not directed accordingly. They cannot handle their anger. So they will lash out. They will say anything. They will use anything against you. They cannot handle anger. A rage that may quickly end and never be discussed again. You may see them do this, where they go into this sudden burst of rage. And then the next thing you know, they act as if everything's okay, as if nothing was ever done. You like, am I crazy or are they crazy? Okay. Even though that's not the proper term that we use in psychology field, but you know what I'm saying, all right? They will use verbal aggression, physical aggression towards another person. These people, they are bullies. They are emotional bullies, and some of them physical bullies. Some may result in self-harm because they're trying to get that attention. They want to do anything and everything to get attention. We know that narcissists, now this is not, let me just say this, just because somebody harmed themselves does not mean that they're a narcissist trying to seek attention, okay? There are some people that's really in distress, so we want to clarify that. This is not for everyone, but we're talking about those that are narcissists. Now, let me just say this. For a narcissist to truly be diagnosed as a narcissist, they really have to go to therapy. But let me just say this, is that you can recognize certain traits. All right, you can recognize certain traits. You may not be able to give an official diagnosis, because no one can, unless they actually sit down with that person and give them official diagnosis of having narcissistic personality disorder. But we're talking about traits that you can see in order to protect yourself as the victim of someone who is a narcissist, or that you may think is a narcissist. So another thing is they are frustrated. You might see them being frustrated because they're not getting the attention that they feel that they deserve. They're not getting the recognition that they feel that they deserve. They're not getting the praise that they feel that they deserve. So you might see them have these signs, these common signs of rage, because of them not getting the attention. I often describe narcissists as 2-year-olds in an adult body, because that's where their mentality is. They act like a 2-year-old. Have you seen when you go to Walmart or some other stores, and you might see these 2-year-olds throwing temper tantrums, laying out in the middle of the floor, crying and screaming because they're not getting what they want? Well, we have adults that act like that. They act like 2-year-olds, but they're in an adult body. Another thing that triggers the narcissistic rage, or should I say is a sign of narcissistic rage, is they're irritable when they are caught in a lie, when they feel like their lives are out of control, when they're getting constructive criticism by someone who has seen things that they've done, and they're telling them about it, they're approaching them about it. They can't handle it. And so therefore, when you see that someone is doing something and you approach them about it, this is why I say you never tell a narcissist that they're a narcissist, because they will never acknowledge it. And you will wind up getting into this argument, and they will throw the books at you because they do not want anyone to shatter that image of themselves. They feel as if they can say anything and everything to everybody else, but they cannot handle it when the shoe is turned on them. And so they have this sense of superiority, where they feel like they can throw anything out to anyone else emotionally, verbally, sometimes physically, but let the shoe fly back on them, and they can't handle it. So again, what causes this narcissistic rage? This narcissistic rage is caused by what we call a narcissistic injury, when they feel like their self-worth is threatened, when they feel like their self-esteem is threatened, when they feel like you have exposed them for who they really are, when they feel like they've been uncovered. Because at the end of the day, the narcissist does not feel good about them. That person does not feel good about himself or herself, okay? They have a sense of low self-esteem. They cannot handle their shortcomings, so therefore they become defensive and they become frustrated. They want to have their delusions of grandiosity, all right? They want to be put on this pedestal. They're in their own world of grandiosity, all right? They have this delusion that they are something more than what they are, and when anybody shatters that image of themselves, then they cannot handle it. So what are some ways that their rage will be triggered? Number one, if they don't get what they want. Narcissists are like children, okay? The spoiled ones. If they don't get what they want, if they tell you that they want something done, if they don't get what they want, then they act like a child. They pout. They might call names, be verbally combative. And when they don't get what they want, then this brings out that narcissistic rage. And let me just say this. Because you have to be careful being the people pleaser. If it's something that you can't do, then you just can't do it. Tough luck. And you have to have that attitude. Hey, I can only do so much. If it's something that you wanted to get, and you for example, you want to purchase something and you couldn't do it, and it was out of your means to do it, then oh well, hey, they have to wait. Tough luck. See, the thing is, you have to be just as tough as the narcissist. Not cold as the narcissist, but tough as the narcissist. Be assertive. Number 2, they feel that they've been criticized even if the critique is constructive. They cannot handle being criticized. And I'm talking about constructive criticism. They want to feel as if they're in control. They want to feel as if they know everything. They want to feel as if you can't tell them nothing. After all, you're the peon and they're the taskmaster in their eyes. So you have to be careful when you are confronting them about anything, because they will not receive it. Number 3, when they get narcissistic rage when they're not the center of attention. They can't handle it. And it's pretty ugly. It's really ugly. I've seen it. And it's ugly. When they're not the center of attention, they act like a spoiled brat. They can't handle it. They feel as if they have to be the center of everyone's universe. And when they're not the center of the universe, then they will gray rock you. They will stonewall you. They will pull back from you just because they're not the center of the universe. They can't handle it. Number 4, when they're caught breaking the rules or disrespecting boundaries, and you tell them about them not respecting your boundaries, they go into a rage, because after all, rules are for thee, but not for me in their eyes. They feel as if rules are for everyone else. These are the same people that, I'm going to use church folks, y'all know I'm an evangelist. These are the same people that feel as if the sermon is for everybody else, but they never apply it to themselves. Okay, even us as evangelists, we have to read the word of God and also apply it to our own lives. The narcissist is for everybody else, but it's not for me, except the good parts. What they perceive as the good parts. Oh, blessings and prosperity. Oh yeah, that's for me. Love your neighbor as yourself. Be kind. Don't be angry. Oh, that's for everybody else. Okay, that is selective. Okay, they're selective with what they will receive. Number 5, they have narcissistic rage when you hold them accountable for their actions. Again, rules are for thee, not for me. That means that I don't have to live by the rules. I just tell everybody else what the rules are, but I don't have to live by the rules myself. Can you say hypocrite? That's right, hypocrisy at its best. All right, rules for thee, not for me. Nope. One of the things that the Apostle Paul said was that after he had taught everyone else, he had to make sure that he didn't find himself short. All right. So we have to always judge ourselves. We have to self-examine ourselves. We have to make sure that we are living in accordance to God's will and not just telling everyone else, but we're not being hypocrites. And we do everything that we're telling others to do, we have to do ourselves. And this applies to me, okay? When I am bringing these broadcasts to you, don't think that I'm not having to use this myself. I am. And sometimes I fall short of it, because guess what? Some of them narcissists can bring you into a they will make you forget. But then you have to bring yourself back and say, okay, I know what I'm dealing with. I know how not to play the game. Number 6. Their idealized self-image was harmed in some way. So basically, their perception of themselves, when you may have, for example, told them some truth about themselves, they go into a narcissistic rage when you shatter that self-image. They want to feel as if they're perfect, that nothing is wrong with them. We know that in the Bible, Jesus told the Laodicea that, you know, that they need to be hot or cold, but he was going to spew them out because they thought they were in need of nothing. And this is how the narcissist is. They have this self-image of, I'm in need of nothing. And Jesus said, buy gold tried in the fire from him. The thing is that they don't want to look at the truth about themselves. It's easy to scrutinize everybody else, but what problems do you have? Number 7, they're reminded of their manipulation, inadequacy, or shame. This is when you tell them about their manipulation, about their lack of empathy, their controlling, manipulative practices, their inadequacy. They go into a rage because they don't want you telling them, again, anything about themselves, especially when they know it's true. And that's why they get mad, because they know it's true. Number 8, they go into a narcissistic rage when they feel out of control with their surroundings. When they feel like they're not in control of things, not in control of you, can't tell you what to do, can't dictate to you. See, the narcissist wants to control every aspect of who you are. And when you don't allow them to do it, they get angry because they can't control you. See, and nothing makes a narcissist angrier is when they lose control. When they can't control you, when they can't make you do something, then they get angry because they feel as if they have no control. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment. That's a sign of a worried man. That's a sign of having a good time. That's a sound of pain. Change, change, change. That is Aretha Franklin, Chain of Fools. All right. So we are still talking about narcissistic rage. So we're going to give some examples that was listed about narcissistic rage. And one example is a narcissist that might punch a wall. Okay. If their child doesn't finish a race first place at school. So this is something that they go into a fit. These is also the parents that will get up into a umpire's face because they may not have called a foul, or maybe they did call a foul on their child or something like that. So you will see them do this. You also find this when people are driving and these are the ones that's giving people the bird and all kinds of things down the highway. They get into this road rage, but it's also narcissistic rage that you will find a lot of narcissists do when the traffic is going too slow, or someone they feel is slowing them down, or if they get cut off. Now, none of us like to get cut off. We be like, come on, man, But the thing is that there's a way to handle your anger. So these are just a couple of examples of the narcissistic rage that someone might get into. So what are some ways to avoid getting into narcissistic rage? Because the thing is that you don't want to be the target of their rage, and you don't want to deal with it at all. If you can at all possible, avoid it. So number one, you can put some distance in between yourself. When you are in a situation where you are face to face with a person that's getting into a rage, it's best to kindly back up. Do not allow them in your personal space. Make sure you back up. Make sure if you're at the office, allow a desk to be in between you two. Maybe go, if you know someone is angry, maybe have a security guard to walk you out to your car. You don't want to be in their direct presence. So you want to put some distance in between you and that person if they are all enraged. Another thing that is best to do is to have boundaries. You need to state your boundaries and stick to them. Our narcissists, again, rules for thee, not for me. They will try to break those boundaries, but you have to stand your ground. I forgot what state that stand your ground is in. I believe it's in Florida, but stand your ground. So remove yourself from the situation, disengage from them, and therefore you establish your boundaries. Say, hey, you're not going to talk to me this way. We're not going to deal with each other this way. You have to agree to disagree. And sometimes when you're dealing with narcissists, they don't want to agree to disagree on things. So therefore you have to still establish your boundary and say, well, you know what? We're not going to talk on this particular topic. And you take control of the situation. They can't respect that. You can say, well, we're not going to have these particular conversations or things if you're dealing with someone that is verbally combative. Another thing is to stay calm. And this is for you. The narcissist is already rattled and upset, and they try to transfer that energy onto you. Sometimes even if you're talking to them, you have to lead the conversation. Let them act a fit on their own, and you go do some breathing exercises. You maybe need to go take a walk, leave their presence, do a countdown to yourself, but try to stay calm. Do not, because two people that are enraged, and we've all been in arguments where it goes nowhere when both people are inflamed. So one person has to be the sound of reason, and normally it's not going to be the narcissist. It's going to have to be you. Number 4, don't overreact to the narcissist rage, because guess what? That's what they want. They get joy, they get a thrive, they get a kick out of it, and when they see that they have been able to make you upset, then it gives them that sense of excitement that they want. So don't play into it. Now, we all have been suckered into into a narcissist or someone that loves that somebody just toxic and they love to argue. It's just some people that just love to argue. They get a kick out of it. They just love to argue. And we've all been sucked into that. I'm sure that many of you can say, you know what, I'm not an argumentative person, but just this person just irks the mess out of me. Okay, we all have somebody that probably just it's just like someone taking their nails and scratching a chalkboard. They just irk the mess out of you. All right, but the thing is that when we allow ourselves to react instead of respond, then that gives them exactly what they want. So don't feed them that supply. Don't give them that crack that they're looking for. It's hard to do sometimes, but hey, we all got to do it. Number 5. You can empathize with the narcissist and validate their viewpoint, but at the same time, that's not you. You don't have to agree with them. You can understand their point of view and empathize, but at the same time, do not allow your empathy to be their way of being you being their mat where they can walk all over you. This is meaning that they can share their viewpoint, you can share your viewpoint, but if there is no meeting of the minds, you can empathize with them, but it doesn't mean allowing them to make you their punching bag or their doormat. Number 6, don't raise your voice. Narcissists, they love to be aggressive. They are emotional bullies. They love to start arguments. They love to try to get you out of character. And a narcissist will try the patience of Job. All right, they will try to get you out of character. So try to avoid raising your voice with them, threatening, challenging them. Be assertive, but don't try to challenge them in ways, because it feeds that narcissistic supply that they're looking for. They're like crackheads. They gotta have some crack. All right, so you giving them that rise gives them the crack that they're looking for. Number 7, take a break from them. Take a break from them. When you are dealing with narcissists, sometimes you have to take a break and just say, you know what? I'm not going to talk to this person for a while. I need to take a break. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. Nothing says that you have to talk to that person every day. If you're dealing with narcissists, and some people have had to go no contact with them altogether. Low contact, no contact. If you're dealing with someone that's a narcissist, and especially if they're in your family, sometimes you need to take a break and just say, you know what, I'm not going to talk to this person for a while, because you know what, I need to clear my head. They're about to drive me crazy. They're about to drive me insane in the membrane. They're about to make me go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and so therefore I need to take a break. I need to think about what I'm going to say. Even whether it's a 15-minute break or a month break or whatever, you sometimes got to take a break, because if you keep that contact going with them, it's just going to bring some bad triggers within you, some emotional triggers that you're not trying to deal with. So therefore, take a break. If you need to take a break from them, take a break, because the narcissist is not going to change. Therefore, you have to change how you interact with them, if you interact with them. Number 8, remember that it is not about you. Narcissists want what they want, when they want, how they want. They want you to jump, leap, and dance at their command, and you are nobody's puppet. So when you understand this, then it helps you to deal with their tactics and know what their tactics are. This is why we talk about narcissism, and being able to understand how these people operate and know how to not play their game. You can be the master of the game without having to play it. Number 9, understand where the fault lies. Victims of toxic relationships, they often blame themselves. They often blame themselves for the rage. And you have to remember that this person got issues there's nothing you can do about their issues. It's some people that just got some personality issues, and they're not your issues unless you allow them to become your issues. They often may have had some issues when they were growing up with their parents, or lack of, for that matter. They may have had some issues with previous relationships that was before you even came into the picture. You cannot fix a narcissist. And let me just say this, there's nothing you can do to please, appease, or satisfy the narcissist or change who they are. If they're going to be who they are, you cannot change it. They will stay like that normally. And I always give this disclaimer, unless and they allow the Holy Spirit to come into their heart, they will stay like they are, and it is not your fault. So therefore, there is nothing you can do about it. Do not beat yourself up about it. They are who they are, and it's nothing to do with you. And you have to remind yourself of this. This leads us into our number 10. You have to remind yourself of this. Follow through with the boundaries that you have established. Stop arguing with the narcissist. And it's sometimes hard to do. When you know it's fixing to go there, you need to just say, you know what, we're going to have to close this. This is not a good topic for us. Let's not deal with this. Don't even think that you're going to make them realize that they got a problem, because most of them don't. They're like addicts. Most of the time, an addict, until they decide to get help, once they've hit rock bottom, they will never declare that I am an addict. They will deny. That's how the narcissist is. You can't tell them that they're a narcissist. They will deny. Because after all, in their head, the problem is you. It's never them. The problem is you. They blame everybody and everything and everyone for their situation when it is them. So don't even waste your breath. Don't even waste your time. Be assertive. Stand on your principles. Do not allow them to break you, because after all, they want to break you down. You be just as assertive. You be just as bold. You be just as determined as they are. We in the book of Ezekiel, God had chosen Ezekiel to be a watchman, and he was to sound the alarm and warn Israel that they were going to be going into judgment if they hadn't changed from their ways. And so God told Ezekiel that he was going to give him a head just as hard as theirs, which meant not prideful, but he was going to make it where, hey, if they paid attention to him, fine. If they didn't pay attention to him, fine. It was not going to break him, and it was not going to make him become distraught because they refused to listen to him. His head was just going to be as hard as theirs. And this is the same way you have to be with the narcissist. You be just as bold. You be just as assertive. You be just as uncompromising as they are. I'm not talking about in the sense of lack of humility. I'm talking about not allowing them to damage you, not allowing them to gaslight you, not allowing them to emotionally abuse you, not allowing them to verbally abuse you, not allowing them to physically abuse you. You say no. Narc abuse no more. You are able to stop the abuse. And when someone doesn't want to change, guess what? You be that change. You can't change them, but you can change how you react, respond, because we want you to respond instead of reacting. And you can change your situation for us, what you allow and what you don't. We're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Ain't No Need to Worry, and that is by the Winans. I love some of them old back songs, them old school songs. Ain't no need to worry. You ain't gotta worry about the narcissists. They're gonna stay who they are. They're gonna stay who they are. But the thing is that you don't let them drive you crazy. Okay, that's the thing. You don't want them to drive you insane. And so therefore you have to understand how to manage your situation. See, you can't manage them, but you can manage your situation and not allow them to come into your space. There was a movie that back in the day, Patrick Swayze and what's her name? Gray. I can't think of her first name, but her last name was Gray. And it was Dirty Dancing. This a long time ago, okay, when I used to watch that kind of stuff. And she was like, this is my space and this is your space. He was teaching her how to dance. All right, this is my space and this is your space. So the thing is, you don't let them in your space and let them keep their space. All right, well, it's your space, your boundaries, whatever you have established for your boundaries. Do not let them cross those boundaries. And back in the day when I used to watch scary movies, I don't watch them no more, but they used to put salt down to keep the vampires out, and then used to hang your garlic. Not literally, okay, I don't believe in that, okay, that's demonic stuff, but when I'm just joking right now. But the thing is, seriously, do not allow anyone to cross that space, whatever that is for you emotionally. Some of you is even physically, where you might have had to get orders of protection or restraining orders against someone, but do not allow somebody to invade that space, because when they're doing that, then they're not in your best interest. People that love you, people that respect you, people that admire you, they're going to love you for who you are, and they're going to respect your space. That means that they're not going to try to compromise you. They're not going to try to invalidate who you are. They're not going to try to demean you. They're not going to try to belittle you. They're not going to try to put you down. They're not going to try to lower your sense of self-worth. They're going to recognize the value of who you are. Let me just say this. I am a new artist, and I do a lot of paintings, and so I put my paintings on my website, and I have prices for them. I'm not going to allow anyone to devalue just because they might want to get me at a cheaper rate. No, I am of value. I know what my work is worth, and so therefore, even if it stays on there for a while, I know my sense of worth. So you have to know your worth. You have to know who you are as an individual, and never allow anyone to compromise you. Never allow anyone to lower your self-esteem. Never allow anyone to set a price tag on you. You are like that MasterCard. You are priceless. Why is that? Because Jesus came and died for me, and even if I was the only one in the world, he came and died for me, and that's how much he loved me, because I, in his eyes, am priceless. And if we are priceless to Jesus, then you have to know your worth and know that you are priceless. Come on now. All right, we are up out of here. I pray that today's broadcast has been a blessing to you. Let me let you know something. I need you to share these broadcasts, all right? Share these broadcasts on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook, on your social media, so that other people will be able to get the valuable information that you are getting. I don't know what platform you're listening to us on, whether it's Amazon, Audible, Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, whatever you're listening to us on, but if you are able to, please share this. Each one reach one. I heard someone say that before. Each one reach one. So that means that the more you share, the more other people will get this valuable information. If you know some people in your family need to hear these types of broadcasts, share it with them. Let them hear it when you're doing your housework or when you at home, and turn it up. And then people ask, well, who is that? And let them know that Dr. K.L. Rich is bringing a broadcast helping you to admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do what? They do matter. Until next time.